I'm so happy fall TV season is here. Because TV this summer kind of fucking sucked. Okay, not really, but every show I was looking forward to really let me down at some point. Baki. Wasn't really sure what to expect when I started the show. 26 episodes later, I have no idea what I just watched. If you want one of those beat 'em up shows where everyone is strong for no reason and no one dies from injuries they're supposed to, this is the show for you. Dude really got his throat slit and then got up the next episode like it was nothing. Orange is the new black. Alright, can we all agree that Boo and Red in season 1 were way bigger threats than anything we've experienced in the last 2 seasons? Max was bigged up to sound like it was hell on earth, when in reality it's mean girls with jumpsuits. I get that it's a show about prison and no one's supposed to really get a happy ending here, but this for a series finale just felt underwhelming as f***. We basically get a written confession that Tasty didn't do it and everyone's just like, alright. And she just goes on to serve out a life sentence for a crime she didn't commit. And after throwing her under the bus, Cindy just goes on to live happily ever after. Until her sister finds out that she's actually her daughter. And the result of that is she decides to be homeless and they meet at a Burger King once a week for mother-daughter bonding time. I haven't given a damn about Daya and her downfall since season 4. Her whole descent into darkness is literally for no other reason than her mom ain't around anymore. Which is kind of what got her locked up in the first place. Their whole family's theme seems to be that no one learns. And then her mom ends up back in prison for beating up her 13-year-old daughter's R. Kelly level boyfriend, which I really wasn't mad at. Tasty's friend gets fired and they basically make the devil the new warden, which means Suzanne's chicken program is getting axed. I feel like we've already done more than enough redemption for Caputo for all his past actions, so the amount of dry snitching the man did on himself this season felt like overkill. Also, am I the only one who was hoping that Fig was gonna deck this bitch at least once? I feel like she's what it would look like if you let Tommy Lahren run a prison. Only ones that really got a happy ending was Blanca and Gloria. This chick ends up getting deported to a place she's never been before over a plan that ended up failing the very next day, and this one just gets left in the desert never to be heard from again. Okay, we know Lorna's loopy, but now she's really mentally broken with the fact that her baby is dead and she refuses to mentally register that information. Speaking of losing their mind, we find out that Red from being in solitary has dementia and is slowly forgetting everyone and everything around her. So her and Lorna, in the most broken shells of their former selves, become bunkmates and basically form the saddest mother-daughter relationship in the whole show. So then Nikki decides to step up and become the new Red and take over the kitchen. Damn it, dog it. And now we know Loose Check is an idiot. But after what happened to her, this is the first time I've genuinely been disappointed in him and how his actions affected somebody else. Laverne Cox is just irrelevant. And finally, these two. So we ignore the fact that this chick still has PTSD from the army and from the riot and is still just burning herself with cigarettes in her spare time. Nope, now we just have her running up on Piper and chasing after Alex and shipping her off to Ohio when she can't have her. Which then prompts them to break up, and here's how that went. Piper, okay, be honest with me. Everyone, including Alex. Alex is bad for you and still in prison. Live your life and move on. Piper, you know what, you're right. Also Piper.
Whatever, I'll do what I want.
Yeah, this just felt like a random extended episode than it did a real series finale. Dear white people. Now, I was definitely able to relate to everyone's struggle in the beginning of this season. A young black person in their early 20s loses their drive and ambition after life hands out those first sucker punches. I can definitely relate to that. For like the first 15 minutes of the first episode. Then it was just all over the damn place. And then the big reveal at the end of the season. Al is Afro-Latino. The f*** am I supposed to do with that information? Like, out of everything we dealt with this season, that is the big cliffhanger y'all trying to leave us with? I'm not excited because the big reveal from last season amounted to nothing. We spent 10 episodes chasing this secret black society, then we finally find it at the end. Beginning of this season, they get asked to join, and they're just like, nope. And that's basically the last we hear of it. Now, I kept defending this show from all the hoteps who kept calling Sam, the main character, a bedwench because she has a white boyfriend. Because Sam, like many famous people who get criticized for being in interracial relationships, does way more for her people than those that criticize her. But Jesus, like we know Coco hates herself, even more so when her mom shows up. And she usually has one redeeming moment towards the end of every season. But her and Brooke just spend this whole season going to the white frat house to just get passed around left and right, and it's just weird. Then you got Brooke, who is willing to literally screw and or screw over anyone and everyone just to follow her own personal interest. Pretty sure her character was inspired by Sasuke Isaac. Now I get it, Lionel's giving us the young gay black perspective, but if he's really been looking for a boyfriend this whole season, then the orgy episode, why? What was the point of that? What part of the plot needed that entire scene? Like, why is he even there? And then do we really have to see old boy getting power poled in front of a room full of people? And then there's Reggie. Now, he was my favorite when I first started watching the show because I basically majored in the same field, and he basically had Urkel qualities with Stefan looks. But now I can't stand this nigga. At all. Like, he just cries too damn much about the wrong things. Like, the last respectable thing Reggie did was last season when he punched out the Hotep dude. Since then, he's just been an emotional little baby. This man really blew off a meeting about him almost getting shot at because his crush wasn't paying him enough attention. Also, the fact that on so many occasions that we see Sam and her boyfriend hanging out with Reggie, who Sam cheated on her boyfriend with and is now dating her best friend, and all four of them just hang out and never talk about it and everything's just fine. It's just weird to me. But I'll come back to that. Grownish. Actually, I like the season in its entirety. I was just sad to see Zoe and Luca split. Mainly how it happened, because this whole show, we've never seen Luca bothered by anything. Then he finally gets bothered to such an extent that it cost him his relationship. And don't get me wrong, he deserved it for how he was acting. But it was such a 180. Now the similarities with the previous show. Boy likes girl. Boy says nothing when girl dates best friend, or friend out the group. But boy is eventually bothered by girl's new relationship. But then after becoming a problem in girl's relationship, boy then goes on and starts knocking off her best friend. And in the end, everyone's just okay with it. Also, can we let Zoe be by herself for a little bit, please? I do not want her to start dating Aaron. I want her to go on and find herself for a little bit and grow. And I still kind of feel bad for how Aaron did Anna. And finally, Young Justice. The Aqualad thing. I don't hate it. I just hate how it's written. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Calder's new boyfriend also the dude that was in love with his girlfriend when they were dating? Because if that's true and they're hooking up over her dead body, that just makes this story even more wild. Like, this whole plot point just came out of the blue. Like with Lionel and Dear White People, we had a whole episode of Lionel questioning and exploring himself and trying to find out more about who he actually is. And he eventually even tries to be with the woman and realizes, hey, this isn't for me. Let me show you what DC Comics did with Calder for 3 seasons. Alright, we're going to take this character and make him a sidekick and a founding member. Then we're going to kill off his girlfriend, but we're going to make him so smart that he has the hindsight to grieve in private and then publicly pretend to be mad about it as a motive to go and join the bad guys for a few years, when actually he's just a double agent and he's feeding the good guys information about all their motives. Then we're going to bring him back as a leader, introduce a new Aqua Girl, have them eye hump each other for the whole episode, and he's gay.
What?
Calder, he's gay. He likes boys now. Again, I don't hate it. I just hate how it's written. No lead-in, no build-up, nothing. Just bam, there it is. That actually kind of stung. And I noticed other shows have started to take this route lately. Like, a better time for this would have been when they realized their grandpa was bi. But nope. Tess just randomly comes out, and the next episode is throwing a fit for no damn reason. I didn't think she would struggle with her sexuality. I thought she was just a teenager, maybe getting her first period. With all the stuff we throw at the Pearson family, I'm surprised we haven't had an episode of Randall dealing with that yet. But Annie's still young, so give it time. Alright, that's pretty much it. I don't really have an outro or anything. This Is Us, Blackish, and My Hero are coming back. A lot of y'all keep telling me to watch Demon Slayer, Fire Force, and Dr. Stone, but they all got dubs coming out in October, so I might just wait for those. Other than that, I really ain't got much else to say. Thanks for 200 on Facebook and YouTube. Alright, I'm out.